Hello, my name is Zisl Slepovitch, and I'm a musician in residence at Yale University's Fortunoff Video Archive for Holocaust Testimonies. This video series is designed as a companion to our album Where Is Our Homeland, which is the first volume in the archive's ongoing effort to present songs and poems performed by survivors in testimonies given to the Fortunoff Archive over the last 40 years. You can learn more about the project on the archive's website, songsfromtestimonies.org. Where Is Our Homeland? Songs from Testimonies Volume 1 was recorded in 2019 by the Zisl Slepovitch Ensemble featuring renowned singer Sasha Lurje, Craig Udelman on the violin, Joshua Kemp on the accordion, keyboards and guitar, Dmitry Ishchenko on the bass, and myself on woodwinds. The songs in this collection differ vastly in terms of style, social and historical background, language, and many other aspects, but collectively they create a multidimensional picture of Jewish life before and during World War II. Jack M. was one of the wonderful folk singers. He had a tremendous memory, and he remembered a lot of the pre-war repertoire coming from the weddings, from his home, from the army, from the street, from the school. And his testimony not only reveals his personal experience during the Holocaust, but it really gives us a really deep insight into what Jewish-Polish culture was before the war. One of the songs that Jack sang on the testimony is Badkhen's song. The Badkhen was a wedding jester, a figure that was really instrumental in the Ashkenazic Jewish wedding beginning 1400s and through the 20th century. As a boy, Jack remembered two Badkhanim, which is a plural of a Badkhen, in his small town of Szydłowiec. One was a Hassidic religious person, the other was more of a secular Badkhen. And that song was arranged by us, by the Zisl Slepovitch Ensemble, and performed on the album Where Is Our Homeland with the wonderful soloist singer Sasha Lurje. So we decided to open it with the doina, which is a semi-improvisatory instrumental composition. This particular doina came from the collection of Moisei Beregovsky, a notable Ukrainian Jewish Soviet ethnographer who captured, along with Sofia Magid, another ethnomusicologist from Leningrad, St. Petersburg, the last moments of the old world pre-war Jewish tradition in Belarus and Ukraine. So although Jack came from Poland, but opening the composition with the doina makes it really a lifelike music-making situation. The song is followed by the Freilach's tune, the mocking street song Was bist du Ketzele Beruhigis? Why are you so angry, honey?
The biggest kick-off in a wedding was the marshallik. A marshallik was out of this world. He was the entertainer. He was the announcer of the Lurje Geschenk. They didn't give no money, just presents, verstehe? And
the wedding
he got to entertain them in dates. We had two. One was a religious guy, and the other one was Shahant Weltik.
Worldly, non-religious, or
Not-
worldly.
Yeah. The religious guy, he made it in Hassidic. He gave them a Hassidic song, and kavitzen up and no jokes at all. Net gekent them singen in Schmelke sucht der Tate, in seine so tame Watte. Hoch aus dein Vater Jakob dem Alten, in die dein Kass auf mir einhalten. Kann nicht essen, kann nicht schlafen, weil steht, geschrieben in der Teure, so sucht in der Beure, a Idol tun nicht sein allein. A Weib muss man huben, sollen kennen wie später begraben. A jeder tut nicht sein allein.
Sie schmelken, sucht der Tate, sei nicht so tame Warte. Du hast dein Vater Jankel, den Maluchen, in die dein Kass auf mir nicht halten. Kann nicht essen, kann nicht schlafen, weil es steht, geschrieben in der Teure, also sagt ihm der Beure, a Jid will dort nicht sein allein. A Weib muss man haben, so will man kennen später begraben, a jeder wird dort nicht sein allein. Se steht geschrieben in der Teure, a so sagt ihm der Beure, a jeder dort nicht sein allein. A Weib muss man haben, soll ihm kennen später begraben, a jeder wird dort nicht sein allein.
The song of the marshallik, the Badkhen, which is described as the biggest kick in a wedding. What's the context? What's going on here? Well, it's a wedding, and we know a wedding has a groom and a bride and the family and the officiator, maybe a rabbi, friends, maybe some poor people have been invited as well, depending on how wealthy the family is. And there's one person who kind of provides the glue, the continuity, and that's the marshallik, the Badkhen. And the role of the Badkhen, or the marshallik, as Jack M. remembers him, is to both entertain and also instruct and keep things moving. So there are two of these marshalliks that Jack remembers from his growing up in pre-war Eastern Europe. One of them was a religious guy who was a chassid and did things sort of by the book, straight. And the other one he describes as Szydłowiec. That means it was already a heartache, and that probably means that his parents were caused a lot of heartache by his straying from the path of religious observance. But on the other hand, it gave him that point of view that made him a good entertainer, because he took things with a grain of salt and he knew how to make clever double entendres and jokes. And it was very entertaining, to the point that Jack remembers him as providing the biggest kick in a wedding. So in today's weddings, I think we would place this somewhere in the area of a toast to the couple, which sometimes turns into a roast, because the family and friends who are celebrating the marriage with the man and wife to be, or wife and wife, or man and man, are often making little inside jokes and referring to old nicknames that are a little embarrassing, but not too embarrassing. And that's the spirit of the marshallik, who is trying to lighten the mood and also keep things real and not leave it only at the religious precepts that his job is also partly to impart to the couple. So here we have a marshallik who is addressing only the male members of the wedding party. This is before the groom is taken to meet the bride and proceed with the ceremony. So this is all men. This is the groom and his father, principally, and the other members of the male members of the community. And the marshallik begins by saying, "Daddy, daddy, daddy," to Schmelke, that's the groom. His dad says, "Yada da 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 dee." Don't try to be a wise guy. Don't try to play the fool. Don't pretend that you don't understand what's going on. That's what his dad is saying. And then the marshallik continues, "Yam da 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 dee da da dee." Listen to what your old man is saying. Horchois dein Tate Yankel de Malten. Da 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 dee da dee da dee. And your anger at me, contain it. Just hold yourself back here. Don't be angry with me. I'm just the messenger. Very interesting. Why is the groom angry? What's the anger about? Kas. The anger is that the groom is about to lose his independence. He's no longer going to be a free, single, young person with no responsibilities, and no, he's going to have to become a full-fledged member of the community, take on all the obligations of marriage, and it's a scary transition. It's one he apparently doesn't want to take on. He's angry about it. So the marshallik continues to explain, he can't eat, he can't sleep, He can't eat, he can't sleep, he's so agitated. This formulation is one that we find in another context of romantic songs, a love song, where, for example, in Cholem, we hear Ich ess nicht, ich trink nicht, ich schlaf nicht durch die Nacht, weil Banken lube bank, ich nach dir, nach dir. I can't eat, I can't sleep, I'm not eating, sleeping, I'm not sleeping through the night, I can't eat, I can't drink, because I'm longing for you, my love, my sweetheart. This is a different kind of not being able to eat or sleep. It's being upset and anxious at the transition about to happen. And what's causing the anxiety? Because it's written. It's written in the Torah, in the sacred law. So says our Creator. A Jew must not remain alone, must not be alone. A wife he has to take. He has to have a wife. And now comes the punchline. Who will be able, the wife, right, will be able later to bury him. A Jew must not be alone. So that's the precept, and this sort of double entendre, soll am kennen später begraben, literally means will later be able to bury him, which is a bit like getting married and having children so that you will have a Kaddishal. You will have someone who can say Kaddish after you. Yes, if you get married, then when you die, your partner will be able to make sure that you are brought to Kevi Yisrael, that you are buried according to Jewish law. But also it means to vanquish. If you bury someone, it's like on the battlefield. Here it's the battle of the sexes. Where you bury someone, it means that you vanquish them, you conquer them. So it's a kind of wisdom and wisecrack rolled into one. A shtickle chochmeh and a chochmeh. A piece of wisdom, but also a wisecrack. This is the way of the marshallik, who is entertaining, but also fulfilling his obligation to lay down the law and make sure that the participants of the wedding understand what's in store for them and what they're getting into. We have in the literature, for example, Itzik Manger writes about the Badkhen, who is, in that case, addressing the bride. And this is another convention of explaining how sad this day is for the bride, because, like the groom who's about to lose his independence, the bride is about to lose her beauty. So we have, for example, in that song that I'm thinking of from Mangel, A Schatten das Leben, life is a shadow. A Schatten das Glück, and happiness is a shadow. Die Schönheit vergeht, beauty fades like the setting sun, und kommt nicht zurück, and doesn't return. Also sagt der Badkhen, that's what the Badkhen, the marshallik, says, mit Tränen in Blick, with tears in his eyes. So in that case, Itzik Manger is painting a little portrait of a different moment in the ritual where the Badkhen is addressing the bride. In the marshallik song that Jack M. remembers from growing up, it's the marshallik having a little fun with reminding the groom, Ayidle Torni Zaina Lane. You know, you got to get married because a Jew cannot be alone.